This is sort of going back to content a little bit, but this is content that is so engaging that we call it in the industry link bait. This is just purely stuff that you create thinking you're going to get a ton of links from it. This is how to boost your trust rank quite a bit. Link bait is basically, like I said, you're putting out content that people simply can't help but to link. Not everybody, but many people will link to it. Here's 5 types that have worked very well. And I'll start with viral content. When I say viral content, I basically mean any article that has a title that is just sort of so interesting you have to click on it. This may or may not work for your business, but there's probably a way to do it for almost any business. So I don't have to go over all of these. I think we can see their appeal, you know, a kind of David and Goliath story against the odds, stories about money, sort of best and worst category, superlatives work very well. So that's viral content. Compendiums are something that I'm kind of a big fan of that you don't really hear that much about. We do this for clients sometimes as a way, you know, it's link bait that we're creating. We'll create the ultimate resource for something. A compendium would include a dictionary, an encyclopedia, a glossary. It's anything that is a full, complete resource. So this is, again, for the recycling client, we created the green glossary, and we just took every single phrase that is uncommon but is used in the green industry, and we created the sort of ultimate resource for the green industry. Now the hope is that universities and other kind of prestigious resources would say, this is the green glossary. If you have any questions about, you know, green terminology, here's a great resource. We want it to be just listed. We want Wikipedia to list it, that sort of thing. This is the concept of widgets. If you have a programmer, or if you hire a programmer, this can be a fairly easy thing to do, although it can take a little while. A widget is basically a piece of code. It's like a mini program that is usually small and appears on a website somewhere. So this is a great way to get links. In this case, for the recycling company, this is a little widget that allows you to find your local recycling center. Type in your zip code, type in what you want to recycle, and it'll tell you where your nearest recycling center is. It's something that is useful for green audiences. So what we did is we just reached out to the top 30 or so sites that cover the environment, and we say, we'd love to put this widget on your site. I think it would help your audience. We don't say anything about a link. And a lot of them are like, oh, this is great. This will help our audience. Just free. The only thing it has is a little logo at the bottom. The logo is a link. So I think they spent like $6,000 or so on creating this. But they got a ton of links from it, and that's what they did. And not just links, but exposure. People click onto the website. So we did a partnership actually with AT&T to put this on one of the sites that they have. And we got really deep into the negotiations. It was like 6 months of negotiations. And finally they were like, it's perfect. We're just going to take out the logo, just quick thing, and then we're good. And we were like, I'm sorry, that's a deal killer. But it's interesting that that link is such an important part of the widget for a lot of people. So one of the best pieces of link bait I've ever seen was a widget. It's a website called statcounter.com, which used to be really popular. It just basically is this tiny little counter that goes at the bottom of your website, tells you how many hits you have on your website. And these used to be everywhere on like GeoCities pages years ago and stuff. Now what happened was they put a link in every single stat counter. So the measure of Google's trust is, formally it's called PageRank. I call it trust rank. Their PageRank was like a 9 out of 10 or something like that. They were amongst like 100 sites on the internet in terms of how much Google trusted them because of the sheer number of links they got, because everybody was using it. So that's one way that widgets can work out very well. If you can think of a clever widget that is a good sort of business development tool, it also acts as amazing link bait. Contests, I think it's pretty clear why contests might be interesting or link worthy, but if you just give away a free iPad or something, you're going to just go into that mass of free iPad contests. So you wouldn't want to do something like that. Contests easily can get trite. These people I thought were interesting because they came up with the unique idea of burying $10,000 worth of gold in New York City somewhere, and then then they have clues all over the place that they hide, and you have to, treasure hunters go out. It cost them $10,000 to do this, and they created something that's fun, like a truly fun, interesting thing. The $10,000 probably bought them, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business for their company because of the fact that people linked to this thing like crazy. It was so highly publicized. And again, they rose their whole website up with the amount of trust they got from this contest.